Natalya.
Hey, Mojo. Thanks for having me on.
Well, thank you for coming on the show. How are you today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
So I'm going to have to ask you a couple of questions, okay?
No problem.
And I hope that you're not too intimidated by these radio interviews. But I will say this. I'm going to be honest with you, Natalya. I need you to kind of help me out a little bit because I do like WWE, although I'm a little bit of a moron when it comes to it, okay?
No worries.
So that's where you come in. We'll do a little WWE 101 with Natalya from WWE, and you are a third-generation WWE superstar, so I know that much about you. That's pretty solid.
That's right.
Why don't you describe a little bit what it was like growing up, being a part of a family that was all about wrestling? I mean, when did you start learning how to do the moves, and what was that like growing up for you?
Well, I was basically born, throwing out arm drag. So I've been around it my whole life, and it's funny that not only have I been surrounded by my dad, my uncle, my grandfather, who are very much involved in with wrestling and with WWE, and just the hearts are kind of synonymous with greatness in WWE. But I am the first female in my family to actively participate in the ring. So, it's fun to be a trailblazer in the Hart family, but people always say, "Oh, you must have such big shoes to fill," and in some ways I do, but at the same time I try not to compare myself too much to my dad and to my uncles because they were, they are men, and I'm a woman, and I'm the first female doing it in my family, so I think it's pretty revolutionary.
I think it's pretty awesome. It's something to be proud of.
Yeah.
I was checking out pictures of you online, and you definitely are easy on the eyes. So is that what it takes to be a diva? I mean, realistically, to be a badass and to be pretty, or what?
Well, I think, thank you very much for the compliment. Flattery will get you everything.
Thank you.
Gosh, there's some old photos of myself, like I look on Wikipedia, and it's like, what in the heck was I wearing? But
I think we all have some of those.
Yeah, so I'm glad you saw some nice photos of Natalya. But yeah, I mean, it's, I think being a diva in the WWE more than anything is about being a role model.
Sure is.
And so, I love to, dress up and feel feminine and be beautiful and embrace that, that diva-like side. But at the same time, it's not enough. It's not enough to succeed in WWE. You really have to be well-rounded, and you have to be able to go into the ring and kick butt. You have to be able to walk red carpets. You have to be able to do interviews. You have to be able to, whatever it is that's called upon you. And for so much of what we do in WWE as divas and as role models, it's so much more than just getting in a ring and wrestling.
Sure.
We do a lot of charity work, and I'm actually an ambassador for the Army National Guard.
Nice. Good for you.
We do stuff with Make-A-Wish, with we have an anti-bullying campaign called Be a Star. WWE just partnered with Special Olympics, and this past year I actually got a chance to go to Rwanda with the United Nations. Yeah, with the United Nations, and visit 2 different refugee camps. And we raise awareness about so many different things, from breast cancer to, why it's important for kids to read. So that's why it's, you can't just get by here on looking good. It certainly is nice, but it's not going to get you to the top.
Well, Natalya, I think that's awesome, and I did know enough about the WWE to know that they get involved in so many different ways with so many different charities. And I think it's not only something you probably want to do, but I think as entertainers, not only you but myself in radio and anybody who has a voice or a platform, I think it's our responsibility to do those kind of things too. Would you agree?
Of course, and WWE having such a huge fan base, we're a global juggernaut. We have the platform of, hundreds of millions of people that tune in to watch us every single week.
You bet.
So, for us, we do have some sort of, I feel like a moral responsibility to reach out and to use that platform and to not just entertain people and put smiles on people's faces, but also raise awareness and educate people. And, like I said, it's so huge to be able to go out there and, make kids' wish come true, or, visit a children's hospital. And it sounds very cliche, like everybody always says, it's about making a difference, but we really go above and beyond.
Absolutely.
That, and more than people even see. So that's kind of, like I said, I love what I do in the ring. But I think the most rewarding part of what I do with the WWE Diva is being a role model and just using our platform, like I said, to touch people's lives in a way that I would never be able to do if I wasn't working in WWE.
Well, before I knew I was going to interview you, and I'm talking with Natalya. She's a WWE diva, and she is hot. She's going to be in town tomorrow in East Lansing. You're going to be in town, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, now here's the question. I would like you to do this for me because I'm a little wet behind the ears when it comes down to WWE. Why don't you walk me through your weekend, because I know you're going to be in East Lansing tomorrow for the big show at the Breslin Center. BreslinCenter.com for tickets if you want to get them, or simply stop by the box office. But I understand you've got a fatal four-way match for the Divas title against a bunch of ladies coming up on Sunday. Can you walk me through your weekend and what you're going to do to prepare for that?
Yeah, that's actually a great question. So far, your interview has been amazing.
Thank you. Well, I'm doing what I can, man.
You keep saying you're wet behind the ears, but no, you're really good. So, Sunday is a huge match for me. It may be one of the biggest of my career. It's Night of Champions. That's the name of the pay-per-view for WWE, and it's myself, Brie Bella, Naomi, and AJ, and we're all going to be in a match called a Fatal 4-Way. And basically what this match is it's pretty much whoever wins the match, whoever gets the first pinfall or submission wins the match. So it's every lady for themselves.
Nice.
We all want that Divas Championship. And right now the current Divas Champion is AJ Lee. And, I mean, she may call herself a Divas Champion. I call her a title holder. I think she holds the title in her hands, and I respect the title that she holds. I don't really respect her as much as I respect the title that she holds, because I consider myself a champion. And whether I have a championship in my hands or not, I believe that I'm a true champion. So
you kind of come across that way. I get that vibe from you. No question there.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to taking the championship home. I mean, having it, in my hands on Sunday night. So, that's everything this weekend. And that's why actually this weekend in Michigan is going to be really special, because it'll start tomorrow, and it basically is my road to the championship. So I'm going to hit the gym really hard. I'm going to make sure that I, eat with optimal health in mind. I'll stay away from the Twinkies.
Yeah.
And
it certainly looks like you've done that anyways. I mean, come on.
Well, I'm fighting those Neidhart genetics. My dad used to be an Olympic shot putter, so sometimes.
Sure.
But this weekend I'm facing Brie Bella, Friday and Saturday in singles competition. So Brie actually has proven to be a really tough competitor, and she's kind of helped prepare me too, because she actually, for how small she is, she actually hits me harder than most divas, any actually other diva that I've been in the ring with, besides maybe the Glamazon. But so she's really helping prepare me for what I have to go in on Sunday. And the show will overall be really good, though. And we've got everybody right now is on a Daniel Bryan kick. And so Daniel Bryan will be at the show, and he'll be facing off against Wade Barrett. And you'll see, of course, the Diva action, which is myself and Brie Bella. And the primetime players will be in action. And you've got Wade Barrett. And you've got the Shield and the returning Tyson Kidd, who's been out with injury, and he'll be going up against Jack Swagger. Well, so there's a lot of...
You know Tyson, don't you?
What? I do know Tyson.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
Just a little bit. I'm understanding that you're actually married to him.
Tyson and I actually are married.
That's awesome! Dude!
Yeah. So it's a big weekend for him, too, because like I said, it's just, the return of Tyson Kidd. Everybody's excited about that.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, is it cool for husband and wife to get out there and watch each other? And I can only imagine what the conversations are like around the dinner table, but it's got to be kind of neat to watch your spouse out there doing that kind of thing, too, and I'm sure he would echo that sentiment.
Yeah, and it's nerve-wracking for me to watch him, because now that he's come back from an injury, it's like I just want him to be safe and protect his knee. But Tyson, the one thing I've learned about Tyson is that I don't think there's anybody as mentally tough as Tyson, and Tyson is fearless. I mean, he's like one of those people that he never believed that he was even hurt when he was out, and he had one of the most, his knee injury was awful. He literally almost ripped his knee off his leg. So
that's no good.
I know. For him to come back and be better than ever is huge. And it's just, for me, like, I don't know, I'm always going to worry about him, but at the same time, I've got my own things to focus on, like the championship this Sunday, and we've got a great support system, as far as people that are cheering me on. I didn't mention Rob Van Dam is also going to be in East Lansing, Michigan.
Dude, it's going to be awesome.
Ambrose. So he's somebody that, is very inspiring because he's from Michigan, and he's, somebody that when I watch him, I'm like, man, I want to go even harder in the ring. So maybe he'll be able to give me some advice for the Divas Championship.
You know what's great about this whole thing? This is straight up WWE 101. And how fitting would it be to have WWE 101 on this show with you, Natalya, talking about all this awesome wrestling. And you're going to be on the campus of Michigan State University. So it kind of goes hand in hand here with the educational theme about WWE, I would say.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's, WWE has taken over the world.
Oh, hell yeah,
it is. You can see that with Total Divas, too. We're taking over as well.
Well, you guys are all over that on E! too, and to be honest with you, I just happened to stumble across that show the other evening, and I found myself watching it even before I knew I was going to be interviewing you. So I think that's a pretty neat opportunity, too, and I think you're dead on. I have a feeling that you're going to leave it all out there on the mat, in the ring, however you want to determine to phrase that, but I certainly will get behind you and root for you coming up this weekend. So,
thank you so much.
Natalya, I think it's awesome what you're doing. I think what you said about being a role model and giving back, I think, is really hitting home. When people hear that, they're going to really understand what the WWE is all about. It's more than just showing up and putting on a great show and having fun. It's about giving back, too. So we wish you the best, and certainly come Sunday in the Fatal 4-Way match, I hope you bring it home and leave it all out there.
Oh, you know it. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing.